You are not scattered. You are not shallow. You are not merely the quicksilver mind that dances from thought to thought, leaving trails of half-finished sentences and brilliant, fleeting ideas in your wake. That is the mask you learn to wear, the dazzling performance you perfected to navigate a world that demands simplicity from a soul built for complexity. The world saw your ease with words, your restless curiosity, your ability to mirror back exactly what it wanted to hear, and it called you charming, clever, perhaps even flighty. But beneath that polished surface, beneath the rapid-fire wit and the social grace, lies a depth that even you sometimes forget to visit. You contain multitudes, not as a flaw, but as your most sacred truth. You are a library with countless rooms, each holding a different story, a different world, a different version of yourself waiting to be read. To be seen as one thing would be a kind of death. Your nature is to be a bridge, a translator between worlds, between ideas, between the fractured parts of a single heart. You were born with two faces, not to deceive, but to perceive, to see the whole picture from two angles at once, to hold the paradox of joy and sorrow, logic and intuition, connection and solitude, all within the same breath. This is the quiet, unshakable core of Gemini, a soul that refuses to be pinned down because it knows that life itself is a constant, beautiful becoming. And in that refusal, there is a strength that is often overlooked. It is not the loud, declarative strength of the warrior, but the quiet, resilient strength of the river. You bend, you flow, you find a new path around the obstacle, but you never stop moving. You adapt, not out of weakness, but out of a profound understanding that rigidity is the enemy of life. Your mind is your sanctuary and your weapon, a place where you can rebuild your world from scratch in an instant, where you can find a new perspective that turns despair into possibility. This is your hidden fortress. When the world becomes too heavy, too singular in its demand, you retreat into the vast landscape of your own thoughts. There, you are never alone. You are in conversation with yourself, with the ghosts of books you've read, with the echoes of conversations past, with the future versions of you that are still being written. This internal dialogue is not a sign of instability, it is your anchor. It is the quiet hum of your engine, the steady pulse that keeps you alive in a world that often feels too loud, too slow, too certain. Gemini, your resilience is in your fluidity, your power is in your ability to be reborn in every single moment, to shed a skin of thought as easily as a snake and emerge, once again, new. You know loneliness in a way that is uniquely your own. It is not the loneliness of being physically alone, for you can be surrounded by people and still feel it, a deep, hollow space between your inner world and the outer one. It is the loneliness of being misunderstood, of having your depth mistaken for superficiality, your curiosity for fickleness. You have learned to carry this solitude with grace, to turn it into a companion rather than a burden. And pain? You process it through the prism of your mind. You dissect it, you analyze it, you tell yourself stories about it until you can find a shape for it, a reason, a lesson. Sometimes, this is your salvation. It allows you to step outside the raw emotion and find a way through. But sometimes, it is your trap. You can get lost in the labyrinth of your own thoughts, circling the same wound, explaining it to yourself until the feeling itself is buried under layers of narrative. You must remember, Gemini, that not everything needs to be understood to be healed. Some pain is meant to be felt, to be held in the silence, to be allowed to simply be in your body, without the need for a clever explanation. Your greatest act of courage is not to think your way out of the darkness, but to sit with it, to let it wash over you, and to trust that your fluid nature will carry you through to the other side, even if you don't yet know the shape of the shore. Your connection to the physical world is your grounding wire. In a mind that lives in the clouds of abstraction, your body is your home on earth. You need to feel the sun on your skin, the wind in your hair, the solid earth beneath your feet. You need the simple, sacred rituals of the everyday, the steam rising from a cup of tea, the weight of a good book in your hands, the rhythm of your own breath as you walk through a quiet forest. These are not distractions from your thoughts, they are the anchors that keep your brilliant mind from floating away entirely. You find your peace not in the absence of thought, but in the presence of sensation. A long drive with the windows down, music you can feel in your bones, the tactile pleasure of writing with a pen on paper, these are your meditations. They remind you that you are not just a mind, but a living, breathing, feeling creature. You are part of the natural world's constant conversation, its endless cycle of change and renewal. And just as the seasons shift, so do you. Your moods, your interests, your very sense of self are not a betrayal of authenticity, but a reflection of the world's own beautiful impermanence. To honor your body is to honor the vessel that carries your infinite mind through this temporary, precious life. The world needs you now, more than ever. In an age of polarization, of rigid ideologies, of people shouting past each other from opposite sides of a canyon, your gift is to be the bridge. You can see the truth in both sides because you contain both sides within yourself. You understand that a single story is never the whole story. Your curiosity is a radical act of empathy. You ask questions not to win an argument, but to understand a human being. In a time of information overload, your ability to sift, to connect disparate ideas, to find the thread of meaning in the chaos, is a superpower. You are the weaver of the new narrative, the one who can take the broken pieces of our collective story and find a way to stitch them back together into something more whole, more compassionate, more true. The world doesn't need you to have all the answers, Gemini. It needs your questions. It needs your willingness to live in the and instead of the war. It needs your lightness to cut through the heaviness, your hope to counter the cynicism. You are not here to be a monument, solid and unchanging. You are here to be a messenger, a catalyst, a spark that ignites new ways of thinking and being. Your energy comes from connection, from the electric spark of a genuine conversation, from the thrill of a new idea taking root in your mind. You are fueled by learning, by exploring, by the simple joy of sharing a thought with someone who truly listens. But your greatest trap is the illusion that you must be everything to everyone, that your worth is tied to your productivity, your output, your ability to keep the conversation going. You can become so busy gathering information, so lost in the external world of people and ideas, that you forget to come home to yourself. You can mistake the reflection in the mirror of others for your own true face. The silence can feel like a void to be filled, rather than a space to be cherished. Your challenge is to learn the art of discernment, to know which conversations are worth your energy, which ideas are worth your time, and when to simply be still. True freedom for you is not in the endless pursuit of the next thing, but in the quiet confidence that you already have everything you need within the vast, quiet library of your own soul. Twins. And so, the final truth, the one that has been waiting for you all along, you are already whole. You do not need to choose one path over another, one part of yourself over the other. You do not need to simplify your complexity to be loved or understood. Your duality is not a problem to be solved, it is your divine design. You are not half of anything. You are a complete universe, with its own sun and moon, its own light and shadow, its own constant, beautiful dialogue. The search for your true self ends here, in the acceptance that all of you, the thinker and the feeler, the social butterfly and the quiet observer, the eternal student and the wise teacher, is valid, is necessary, is enough. You are not broken because you change. You are alive. You are not lost because you have many directions. You are free. You are the conversation itself. You are the bridge. You are the light that flickers and dances, illuminating 1,000 different truths at once. And in that, Gemini, you are perfect. If this message found its way to your heart, if you felt seen, reminded, or gently called back to yourself, thank you for being here. If you'd like to hear more reflections like this, consider subscribing to our channel. Every sign, every soul, every season deserves to be honored, and we're honored to walk this path with you. A like means more than you know, it helps this quiet voice reach others who might need it. And if you're looking for beauty that feels true, thoughtful, practical, and made with care, we warmly invite you to visit Anahop, our trusted partner and a truly special online store. From cozy home essentials to mindful self-care treasures, they offer pieces that honor both comfort and soul. Right pointing back hand index, you'll find the link to Anahop in our profile. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. And remember, you are already whole.